Finally, I would summarize why Prince2 is a smart choice. Accessible entry point. There's no entry barrier. Anybody could take it up, right? And structured methodology, he spoke, is highly structured. Okay, very, very structured. There's process, there's principle, discipline is what's key about the Prince2 method. Clear progression path. You start off with foundation, then get to practitioner levels and all. Hybrid and agile ready. A point of noted, even Prince2, I did speak that PMP can be applied in any kind of project, no matter what development approach it uses. So is Prince2. Prince2 is agile ready, not now. Prince2 was agile ready since 2009. The latest edition of Prince2 is more than ready. There's a lot more guidance on how to tailor Prince2 to an agile delivery method, and how would you apply that in a predictive kind of environment. UK and Commonwealth nations, Prince2 has an advantage. Right, I'll call my colleague Isabella to take up questions.
Right, thank you so much, DJ. We've covered a lot of ground tonight, from exam structures to career pathways, from global market trends to real-world adoption. Now, there is where it gets really valuable, your questions. During pre-registration, we received some fantastic questions from people in your exact situation. These go deeper than what we've covered on the slides, and they are the real scenarios you are thinking about. Let me share the questions we received, and DJ will walk us through each one. Question 1, Dual's certification strategy. How feasible is it for a project manager to hold both Prince2 and PMP simultaneously? And what's the recommended learning sequence and timeline?
Right. So let's start with the learning sequence. The sequence should be Prince2 Foundation. Maybe Prince2 Foundation only. If somebody wants, can do practitioner as well. And then PMP. So a professional who is entering into project management can clearly go for foundation, as it has no entry barriers. And having spent certain number of years in project management would be eligible for PMP and hence can take up the certification. That's the path or the sequence. Now, coming to holding both, yes, it makes a lot of sense to hold both. The industry does value both the certifications, all right? And from a learning perspective, also it is very valuable to go for both, because both teaches different things. So Prince2 teaches discipline, a method, governance, which we definitely need to apply in a project. While PMBOK would be more on general project management skills, leadership skills, qualities, interpersonal skills, so detailed project management tools and techniques. So there is a learning both the credentials offer. So yes, it makes sense, and I have come across a lot of people who indeed hold both the qualifications. One last thing I would add, if you hold both the certifications, there is a little bit of overlap in when it comes to the renewal. You obtain CPD points to renew Prince2 Foundation. The same CPD points could be helpful for renewing PMP as well. Isabella, I'll take the next question.
Thank you very much. Question 2, Agile environments and certification choice. How do Prince2 Agile and PMP's Agile modules compare in their effectiveness for managing real-world Agile teams?
All right, good one. So why both PMP and Prince2, they claim to be Agile ready? So we are talking about here Prince2 Agile. Prince2 Agile is another qualification. Okay, so Prince2 is one product, while Prince2 Agile is a different one. So Prince2 Agile, what is that, by the way? Let's first understand that it is Prince2 as is, all of Prince2, plus Agile elements added on that. All right. So if I were to compare Prince2 Agile versus PMP, now PMP can work in any kind of, development approach, be it predictive, Agile, all of it, right? As we discussed. But it claims, but there isn't a lot of guidance as such on how exactly will you do that. It claims, and there are evidences within PMBOK, we agree that it can be implemented in agile environment, right? But Prince2 Agile provides clear guidance, very, very clear guidance on how to apply, project management to agile delivery. So, in fact, in terms of knowledge, there's no comparison. You do not see that guidance in PMP. Okay. So, Prince2 Agile very clearly says, how do you tailor roles for Prince2 Agile? If the project is using Agile, it has guidance on how do you tailor the artifacts, what would be equivalent artifacts if it is Agile versus predictive. Okay. It says, how would you tailor the processes, all of it. So there's a lot more guidance within Prince2 Agile on how exactly to apply project management to a agile delivery, while PMP doesn't have such guidance. Back to you, Isabella.
Very much. Question number 3, career salary and ROI implications. What's the typical salary differential between Prince2 Foundation, Prince2 Practitioner, and PMP across different sectors and regions?
Oh, I'm afraid I don't have a stats in front of me right now to give a range to that. But one thing that I would say is there isn't much of distinction here. There is, as you would understand, that the salary would vary from region to region, okay, whether you hold a certification or you don't hold. But like PMI says something. PMI says, let's say, based on their salary survey they conducted, if a person market value is X, I mean, each of us have got a market value basis our educational qualifications, our experience, where do we work, everyone has. Now, if a candidate adds PMP, then the person is compensated 1.25 times of X. So that is, in simple language, project managers get a 25% hike, those certified over those not certified. That is PMI salary survey. I don't have exactly such a thing for Prince2, but it's equivalent. I would say it's equivalent. So for both the certifications. That's all I have.
Thank you so much. Question number 4, industry transition and certification. If I move from a Prince2 role to PMP dominant organization, how difficult is the transition, and does Prince2 Practitioner provide any accelerated pathway to PMP?
Right. Here, what I've got to say is it's not difficult. If somebody wants to make a switch from a Prince2 method that was being adopted to a PMP one, a lot of people do that. And I've seen project managers also do that. It could be, there are certain organizations, especially into services where they serve multiple regions, especially I've seen that in India. I'll just quote something like companies like, you name many, IBM, Accenture, many organizations. You would see many project managers out there would be having both the certifications. What happens is, say I'm a project manager at IBM. Currently, I'm serving a Europe-based client. And in this project, we're using Prince that customer has mandated. That's the language that the client organization understands. So during my tenure at IBM, serving this particular customer, this particular project, I'm using Prince to watch. And now next year, I've been given a US customer to deal with, and in that project, you're using Kim Watch. I can easily switch, and people do that. It's no big deal. Every now and then, forget organization. It could vary even from project to project. So I was telling you how seamlessly people can transition. All right, that's one thing. And the second thing, if a person knows nothing about PMP, all right, still, if you know Prince2, at least you know the fundamentals of project management. Fundamentals of project management are there. Okay, so you can easily catch up with PMP with a little bit of learning, on your own or going for a certification, as compared to, let's say I have no certification and I'm managing my project some way, whichever way I learned over the years. Now you ask me, take me to a PMP environment, I would struggle. But if I have Prince2, there's less trouble. That's the answer to this question, Isabella.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Next question, emerging trends and future relevance. What are your predictions for how Prince2 and PMP will evolve over the next 3 to 5 years with AI integration, remote teams, and changing demands?
Yeah, so AI is the biggest thing that would evolve. It has already evolved. So PMI is coming up with the next edition, which is 8th edition of PMBOK. Is already released, by the way. The exam is yet to switch to this 8th edition, and they have a small appendix on AI. They're speaking a little bit on AI, but it's not extensive. The exam is not going to cover that, but there's a little bit of guidance on AI, and that's one thing. And Prince in his next revision is going to do that. Just to let you know, Prince2 Agile, which was recently introduced, the latest version, I mean, they also are talking about AI. Okay, a lot of AI. All right. So will Prince2 do in the next revision. That's due. So both are talking about AI. Both of them recognize, and they have to, because project management. Why only project management? AI has affected every industry, every profession, every domain, and project management is no different. And that's what these guidances say. Keep them aside. Let's talk about what's actually being practiced. How much of AI is being used by project managers as of now? Yes, in the industry, the project management profession, project managers are using AI in varying degrees for a variety of things, right from simple uses, okay, to very high-end uses of project management. There's a complete graph altogether, all right? So people are using AI to a great extent, even as we speak right now. And we would expect that to grow more and more. So I would expect both PMBOK and Prince2, they would be adding more guidance on AI and integrating more and more of AI into project management. That's what I see the future in the next 3 to 5 years. Isabella.
Thank you so much. And the last question, certification beyond PM roles. Which certification provides more value for professionals in adjacent roles like business analysis, product management, program management, or PMO leadership?
Sure. A natural career progression for a project manager would be, although this is not necessary much, but this is what most common, project managers would graduate enough to become program managers, right? Program managers. And then eventually portfolio managers as well, all right? So that could be one possible pathway for project management professionals. So that's why I would say, so after a person has done Prince2, PMP, which address project management piece, I would say a program management certification would be a great idea after this. And for program management certification, again, people cert, the way they have Prince2 for project management, they got MSP, Managing Successful Programs, coming from the same body. While PMI has their certification, they call it as PGMP, Program Management Professional. So I would recommend going for one of these certifications after, a person has got some credential in project management. I heard you mention in the question, how about business analysis or product management? To that, BA, I would not say a BA, after a seasoned project manager, you wouldn't like to become a business analyst. We seldom see people doing that. Okay. So in fact, it could be the other way. I've seen a lot of business analysts becoming project managers. So after project management certification and with experience, I would look forward for a program management kind of position instead of business analysis. Product management is not bad, yeah, there is a good amount of demand these days on product management. But again, but the most relevant certification after project management would be program management. Isabella.
Thank you so much, Debashish, for sharing your expertise so generously tonight and for helping everyone here to see their path forward more clearly. To everyone watching, this conversation matters and your decision matters. Whether you choose Prince2, PMP, or eventually both, you're investing in something powerful, your professional future. Before you go, here's what we'd love you to do. First of all, visit aspirex.uk. That's your next step. There you will find free Prince2 course demo. Try it out, get a feel for what our training looks like, and see if it resonates with you. Detailed comparison guides and study materials, resources to support whatever decision you make, and contact us. If you have any questions or want personalized advice, reach out directly through the website. We're here to help. Thank you all for being here tonight. We really hope this has helped clarify your path forward. Visit Aspirex UK. We look forward to supporting your project management journey. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.